The question that I think we needed to have answered here this evening, because we passed as a council more than 2 years ago that motion to have those 5 buildings that you mentioned added to the record of protected structures. And I do notice this evening that there's a number of buildings on Capel Street and St Mary's Abbey which were put on public display for addition to the RPS only in August of 2017, and now we have a recommendation in this evening's report to have them added, and such alacrity obviously has gone missing with regard to Moore Street. So I would hope that as soon as possible, because both myself and yourself sit on the previous Ministers' Forum and the current one chaired by Tom Collins, and unfortunately the process laid down in terms of trying to establish an agreed way forward with all the various stakeholders is run into pretty much a dead end, because one of the stakeholders involved, the owners, haven't come to the table in any way, shape or form, in any meaningful way. So a question I have is in terms of our own statutory powers as a City Council to actually fulfil the obligation of the passing of that motion in terms of the addition to the record protected structures, because I've seen the draft assessment that was carried out, and 3 of the buildings are recommended for addition to the RPS, with the further 2 requiring further investigation in terms of gaining access to the buildings. So what are our legal powers when we run up against owners of buildings and sites who refuse to allow people who've been appointed to carry out the assessment? What are our powers to actually challenge that, and have we actually used those powers if they exist?